Hello carriers, and today I've got another Carelic, which is Goime 500, a game I made in 2011. Now I promise this isn't a gaming channel, even though it looks a lot like it because my last 3 videos are all games. But I felt like this one has been on my list of things to do for so long that I just had to do it eventually. So the premise of this game is it's a platformer with an unprecedented 500 achievements. If you're curious, I was inspired by Achievement Unlocked by JMTB02, who I'm a huge fan of. His first game only had 100 achievements, and then his second one had 250. So I thought I should beat him right out of the get-go. So my first game, my first achievement game, had 500. So like I was the world record holder for most achievements, and then he made his third version which only had 400. Anyway, this game came out in 2011, but there were a few problems that I had to fix, and I can actually roll over this button to show you all of them. Except it's kind of boring to read them all, so maybe I'll just start playing. I'll do a walkthrough of this game, see how fast I can do it in, and as I'm playing I'll tell you all the changes I made. They're pretty minor. Okay, so here we go. It's just a normal platformer, and you can see I'm getting like a ton of achievements, and there's 500 total. You can see I have 22 so far. And you can see the list on the right shows all the achievements. If I have gotten them, they're green, but if I haven't, they're gray. So the first big change that you might notice if you played the original version is that the achievements you've gotten are all at the top and the ones that you haven't are at the bottom, so they're separated in that way. And in addition to that, the ones at the top are ordered in the order you got them. So at the very top, NG is click on the new game button. That was the first achievement I got ever. And then I got the single step, then I got free achievement, then I got be normal, then I got see what you've achieved, and so on. Everything below is now sorted in alphabetical order, which makes it easier to find achievements that, like, I don't know, you're looking for especially. The reason why I, came back to this game after 6 whole years of doing nothing, well maybe it was more like 5 years, was because I noticed on the H-Twin Central Discord server, that's 4 troches, H-Twin Central Discord server, people were starting to speedrun this game more and more. So Milo Jacquet got the world record okay, actually, first, my personal best is 9:23, but oh my god, this brings up like so many different topics. First of all, Goime 500 version 1.0 had a timer, which you can see, like this one has a timer here, but in 1.0, it just counted how many frames had passed, and since it was supposed to be 50 frames per second, it assumed that frames divided by 50 equals how many seconds have passed. So if your computer lagged, your timer would also lag, which is unfair because if you have a slow computer and need to do a complex maneuver, you might be able to do that maneuver more accurately since your brain has more time to think in between frames. The most fair thing to do is to have the timer actually count true seconds, which actually isn't that hard to do. So the first update I knew I had to, oh damn it, oh shoot, this is a kid-friendly channel. The first big change I knew I had to make was make it so the timer counted in true seconds. So this way, if your computer lags, you get punished. So a second is a second now, which is nice because, like, I saw people before were commenting things such as, oh, I think a game second is approximately 1.5 real seconds, which just makes me cringe at how... That was a bad bug. Whatever, just ignore that happened. Think of it as a feature. In addition, originally the timer only has sig figs down to the 10th, but now it's down to the thousandth. I'm so bad with numbers, which means that there's a smaller chance of speedrunners tying and all that. So that's like big change number 1 and 2. The not the leaderboard, the achievement list being like this, and the timer being super accurate. So like this timer here for the obstacle course, or more like, what is it called? The track, like you do laps, is also now down to the 1000th, which is super cool. I'm not very good at it. Because this one was even more important because I saw on, I'll skip over there right now. On the leaderboard for Goime 500, there's only 8 people, by the way. You should go to the link in the description and play it right now, because no matter what time you get, you'll be in the top 10, and like, that's just such a great reward. Anyway, I noticed that in addition to the normal category, which is just to complete the game, there's also miscellaneous, which has some like side quests you can do, like just get all the coins. How fast can you get all the coins? Or use all the portals, or the fastest marathon, which is through this thing. And I noticed for fastest marathon, someone had already gotten 3.9, but because the marathon is so short, getting 3.8 might be difficult. So it's like, it would be annoying if all the fastest people were tying at 3.9. So this way, it's almost impossible for people to tie. I know that to do really well, you have to start right when the one on the right is going down, and then you can jump across like that. Oh shoot, I messed up. 4.5. So you get the idea. Oh, by the way, I think... Okay, so people called finishing the whole game 99.8% because the very last achievement you get is called... Well, I can show you right here. It's called 99.8% all done, which means that you've gotten the 499 other achievements that will lead up to this one. However, I think they should just call this 100% because when you get 499 achievements, you instantly have 500 in the same frame because this one will trigger. So this makes it seem like you're not actually completing the game, even though you are. So I say change it to 100%. By the way, I didn't notice this tab, 99.8% tool-assisted speedrun, until today, so that must have just been added. I'm not really sure how you can like use tools here because it's like Flash, and I don't know how to do stuff like that in Flash. I don't know what I'm saying. So anyway, on to the other changes. So here's a really minor change. In the past, these blocks right here were the same color as the walls of the building, but you can see that they start to blend in with the background right at this location. So I made them a bit darker. Wow, what a minor change. Like, seriously, is this the level of excitement in Carelics videos? The whole channel has gone downhill. Oh, I should bring the music back. There we go. Is the music too quiet or is it too loud? Next change. People are complaining that there were physics bugs and, well, like you saw one at the beginning of this video. I thought I fixed them all until I saw that, and now I'm kind of sad because I thought my new physics engine was really robust. I don't think it'll happen very often. Now it's more watertight because it does all X directional movements separately from all Y directional movements. For some reason that makes bugs just a lot less common. And as a result of that, you can't intersect land as much. But unfortunately, that means that certain places like this, up here where there's a gap of exactly one tile, it's harder to fit through because you can see like I'm actually hitting my head on that tile whereas I wouldn't have before. But what happens is like if you're right next to a ledge, gravity will actually pull you towards that ledge. So I can't quite show you, but like that, like yeah, you slide off. And kind of as a consequence of programming this, I didn't realize this would happen, but slopes are now slippery. So on the earth, like if it's slanted in any way, you'll slip downward. And that also happens on the grass here too, even though the slope is very shallow. I think it's still pretty cool though. But the biggest new thing is probably all the new achievements. Well, there's not that many. There's only 12, even fewer than 12 new achievements. But it's not like I just wanted to change things up because I like the idea of having a static game that speedrunners get really good at. Like they memorize the ins and outs of every way in which the game works. So I don't want to be changing things all the time. But there were some things that I just knew had to go. For example, the achievement of playing Goime 500 for 5 minutes, I had to change that because if speedrunners ever got to the point where they could complete Goime 500 in less than 5 minutes, well, that achievement would prevent them from doing that, and like the world record fastest time would always be 5 minutes, and that's pretty lame. So I had this rule to remove any achievement that required a time length of more than a minute. Okay, so all of those went away. By the way, that reminds me, the world record right now is by Tetrian something. Tetrian 22 at 8 minutes 37 seconds. And it's actually pretty funny because, okay, my record was 9:23, and that was the de facto world record until a month ago or so when Tetrian 22, I think, got 9:20. And then Milo Jacquet beat that with 9:01, but then just half an hour later, like literally 30 minutes, Tetrian 22 beat that back with 8:37. So Milo is a real Keaton Ellis right now, and if you get that reference, then you're awesome! Achievements changed, which means that the game might be slightly easier or harder than it was before. However, because records are still falling at seeming like 30 seconds at a time, I'm willing to bet there's enough wiggle room that you can still compare old records to new records pretty much without worry. So you might wonder, what are the new achievements? Okay, there we go, easy. Now there's only 2 achievements left, but like I've said before, the last achievement is just to get all the other achievements. So I really only have 1 achievement left, which is guys interested in your club, which interestingly has been my last achievement to get before too, which means it's clearly a difficult achievement to get. You're right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be a different color for this, I think. Okay, we'll be cyan, because cyan is the best color. Okay, club. I don't know how to get there. I don't know. I'm very forgetful. Do you want to talk? Sure. To get some advice. That's it. You have to say, you want advice, and then he's in, like, then you can introduce your club. So there it is, 500 achievements. I finished Goime 500 in an embarrassingly slow time, but I was talking about the game as I was playing it. 31 minutes, over half an hour. Oh my god. So as you know, my best time was 9:23, but that's using the old time metric where it's frame dependent, which means I don't know if it really counts anymore. So the timer now is the true timer because it will line up perfectly with your clock. So now play this game and try to get sub 5. Well, that's a bit of a stretch right now. Sub 10 will be good enough. Anyway, before I go, I should give a formal shout out to both Milo Jacquet and Tetrian22 for trying so hard to get so good at this game. So both of them have videos to verify that they indeed got these times. And I think you should, well, like, you don't have to watch the whole video because it is like 9 minutes of playing Goime, but go to this video and give it a like or something just to show support for all the hard work, because speedrunners, like, they need more appreciation, okay? I'm running out of things to say, so this is the end of the game. Goime 500, best game ever. Bye.